So we're gonna do a little bit of laying down hamstring work. And you might not have a strap at home, and that's totally fine. Don't worry about it. Things that you can use at home if you don't have a strap. You can use, the tie of a robe if you have it. You can use an old belt buckle or belt. If a skipping rope is available to you, you can use that. Some people have asked if they could use resistance bands. You could. Just be mindful that the resistance band is one of the more denser, it's a little bit more difficult to pull, as opposed to the lighter ones that you can pull very easily. So just a couple of things that you might be able to use at home or find around your home if you don't have a strap. So I have one. I'm going to lay down and I'm going to show you some very simple hamstring stretches that I like to do pretty much every day. So laying down, and you can start with your knees bent. You're going to pull your left knee into your chest, and you're going to take your strap and you're going to wrap it around your big toe joint and your baby toe joint. So just be mindful that it's not in the arch of the foot. You kind of want to slide it up a little higher, just under your big toe. And then from here, you want to straighten the leg out to a 45-degree angle. So just be mindful that you're not straightening the leg up fully at that 90-degree angle, particularly if your hamstrings are pretty tight. So just extend it out and away from you to begin with, and notice how that feels up the back of the leg. And then push your left heel up towards the sky and just use the strap to gently support whatever happens in your foot or in your ankle. So if I push my heel up, my toes pull down towards my belly button, and then I just grip that strap tightly to support that foot. From here, I start to bring my leg up a little higher, noticing how deep the stretch is going, making sure that as I bring my leg up, my knee doesn't want to bend. So just come to a comfortable place, something that you can breathe through easily, something that you're not tormenting yourself in. And then if you want something a little extra, you can straighten this right leg down the mat. So we often forget about this right leg if it is straight. Why don't you try to engage it? So push out through the right heel, pull the right toes toward the belly button, and activate this right leg, making it nice and strong and straight. The other thing that tends to happen when we hang out here is if we bring this left leg a little higher, that right knee starts to bend and our pelvis starts to tilt upward. So our pubic bone moves towards our belly button, and then our side body or our front body is actually crunching. So making sure that the diaphragm is nice and open, the lungs are nice and open, and that we're not really clenching this area here. Everything's nice and long and soft. So a couple of nice big deep breaths here. I usually say maybe 30 seconds. That's about 10 full deep breaths. And then to come out, you can bend your left knee into your chest. Just simply take the strap off, and then both knees bend and both feet come onto the mat, letting the blood rush back to the toes. So the right foot or right knee comes into your chest. You take your strap across the big toe joint and baby toe joint, straighten the leg out and away from you, and then start to push the heel away from your body. Then grip the strap tightly so that you can support whatever's happening in your foot, and then begin to bring the leg a little higher, just feeling a nice gentle stretch up the back of the leg. So I like to rearrange my hands on the strap so my arms are nice and long, almost like I'm reaching toward my toes, so that my elbows aren't bent and I'm not creating any tension or stress across my chest muscles. Okay, everything's nice and long here. And then I can go ahead if I want to and straighten my left leg down the mat, flexing out through that left heel, pulling those left toes towards the face, and then just holding and breathing. Right, just a couple nice, slow, steady breaths. Again, maybe 10 big, deep inhales and exhales. And then when you've finished, you just bend your right knee, take the strap off the foot. You can straighten that right leg down the mat and just sort of let the blood rush back to the toes, or you can bend your knees and place the feet on the mat. Okay, so I always, not always, but it's always nice to get into the shoulders as well when you're doing the legs. So you can take your belt buckle, I keep saying belt buckle, you can take your belt or your rope or your strap or whatever you have at home, and you can fold it in half, and then you can fold it in half one more time, and then take your hands right to the outside edges of your support. Make sure the wrists are nice and straight, nice extension of the forearm, and then from here, inhale your arms up over your head. And then from here, you're hiking your knees into your chest, you're flexing out through your feet, and then you're gonna straighten your legs up towards the sky. And you can take a couple big breaths here. And then you can get a little wild and crazy, and you can start to pump the feet, right? So just gentle pulses and seeing what kind of movement you can create with your hips. Another thing that you can do is in the centered space and place, you can do like a ballerina and turn your toes out, and then bring your feet back together, and turn your toes out, and bring your feet back together, and just notice how that feels in your hips. So to come out, bend your knees into your chest, place your feet on the mat, and bend your elbows deeply, sliding your arms over your head and letting the blood rush back to the toes and the fingers. Okay, and then one last thing that you can do, just open up your strap one more time. Okay, we'll start with the left leg again. So we'll take the left foot into the chest. We'll straighten that left leg up to the sky. So because it's our second time around, you can bring your leg into full extension because it's opened up the back of the leg, hopefully. Maybe straightening that right leg down the mat, right? Making it nice and long and nice and strong, flexing out through that left foot. And then from here, you want to think about the left leg coming across the center line of the body just a little bit. So I'm actually going to take both ends of my support into my right hand, and I'm going to bring that left leg just across my belly button, just across the center line of my body, and then I can maybe feel it in different places and spaces up that left leg. Inhaling and exhaling. So this is the time where we check in with our jaw and our eyes and our face, and making sure that the muscles of the face are relaxed. And then supporting this leg as we bring it back to the center, bending the knee and straightening that leg on the mat. You can bring your right knee into your chest, strap up that right foot, and nice full extension with that right leg up to the sky. So again, I'm going to take my right leg across the center line of my body, not away from my body. You're going to hold onto the strap with your left hand, so right leg, left hand, and then you're going to bring this right leg across the center line of your body. So a lot of the time when we move into this, our hip will lift. So just be cautious that your pelvis is still rooting down into the floor. Nothing's really changing, nothing's lifting here. And then just feeling those spaces and places up that right leg. A few nice slow breaths, relaxing the muscles of the face. And then you can support your leg, bringing your leg back to the center, bending your knee and taking the strap off the feet. So, I hope you like that. Something, pretty gentle, laying down for your legs and your outer hips. And again, you don't need much at home, just maybe a belt or a rope or skipping rope, or if you have a strap, that'd be great.